What's happening, y'all? This is the OG Bronknut 719 West, and today I want to have just a conversation with you all. This might be a long video, but I think it's going to be worth watching. Now, I've told you before in previous videos that, look at me. I've seen myself in the mirror. I know I don't look like a smart guy, but you're going to have to trust me that I am. And that I do a lot of study and a lot of research on anything that I'm going to speak about or I don't speak about it. And today I want to talk to you about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, because what I've noticed is on every single news station, right? The word Bitcoin showing up in sitcoms. You can't really scan anywhere on the internet and not see an article of somebody trying to sell it or some scheme or some scam, something that they're trying to do. You can't escape it. It's Bitcoin mania, right? And so what I want to tell you today is that I've been involved in Bitcoin since the beginning. And I don't know anything about computers. I mean, heck, I don't even have sophisticated software to make videos or a microphone or correct lighting. I'm wearing a stained white t-shirt, for crying out loud. I don't know how to turn a computer on, basically. I mean, I do, but if it breaks, I can't fix it. I'm not a computer person. I'm a roofer, an ex-baseball player, a guy who didn't even graduate college. Okay? But I do know a little something about this topic. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So you listen to these smart guys, right? Like Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO and president of JP Morgan, and all these analysts on TV, on Fox Business, on Bloomberg. I watch it every single day, and I have for years and years and years. And they try to talk about Bitcoin. And what's scary to me is that there's people out there like you who believe what they're saying. And what they're saying is wrong. It's factual wrong, not an idealistic wrong, like where I believe in Bitcoin and they don't believe in Bitcoin. It's factually wrong what they're saying. But the point is that those misleading facts become facts to the people they're telling it to, which breeds more misleading facts. So let's get down to what I believe Bitcoin is and what it isn't. A lot of people think, well, Bitcoin was started by the Rothschild family, the power elite, AI, the government, the NSA, DARPA. I mean, you could hear every reason of why somebody started this. I've done the research. I've dug as deep as you can dig. And the truth of the matter is I'm not sure who started Bitcoin. I mean, we all know it's this Satoshi Nakamoto figure that nobody knows who it is. But in the beginning, there was a group of programmers. They were just little computer nerds. These guys didn't work for the NSA. They were just little computer nerds. And they came across an idea of creating a currency because they were frustrated with corrupt bankers, frustrated with the Federal Reserve just printing and counterfeiting our money anytime they felt like it. And I think this group of fellows who were talking about creating some type of currency, they understood banking, they understood money, they understood corruption, they understood all of the properties that if they were going to do this, what it should be, how it would work, how it would be decentralized, because believe it, Bitcoin is decentralized. And then a lot of these guys just kind of fizzled out of this project, and then it was down to two guys talking to each other. And they worked on it together for a little while, and then it gets convoluted on how Bitcoin actually comes into the marketplace from there. The white paper written by Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, I don't believe that the Bitcoin was created by any government or the NSA or the Rothschild family. And the reason why is because all three of those people, they don't like cash, right? They don't like if you've got cash under your mattress in your house, because it's hard for them to track where all this cash is. So bankers want to know, where's the money? Who has it? What's it being spent on? How can we control the knobs and the dials to control the people? And so if they hate that property about cash, why in the world would they create a new currency that actually makes the things they hate about dollar bills even worse? Bitcoin uses a public blockchain, and they say, oh, well, the funds are, it's traceable. They can trace it back to you. And the simple answer to that is yes, they can. The more complex answer to that is no, they can't. It's impossible. If somebody really, really knows what they're doing and really wants to hide all of their Bitcoin transactions, there are utilities out there like Monero, Dash, some dark coins to allow them to be able to trade and do this and switch into wallets, and you'd send them down a rabbit hole, a wild goose chase, and you wouldn't catch them. And you say, well, Bronknuts, they caught Ross Albrecht, the guy who was the owner of Silk Road, and they put him in jail. So what you're saying is not true, Bronknuts. Well, you're half right and you're half wrong. The reason Ross Albrecht got caught is because he solicited murder 2 times and wanted to pay with Bitcoin. But that's not even the reason that he got caught. The reason he got caught is he slipped up on where he logged in from. He did it from a library. And he didn't cover his tracks. He did for many few years, and they couldn't catch up to him. But as soon as they slipped, he made one little slip, and that's how they caught him. But that was Ross's fault, not Bitcoin's fault. And look, I'm glad Ross Albrecht did get caught. I'm glad they did throw him in jail. Anybody who's soliciting murder deserves to be behind bars. So I don't believe it was banks. I don't believe it was the Rothschild family. I don't believe it was DARPA or the NSA or the FBI or the Central Intelligence Agency, because this currency is way too difficult for them to track. It would make terrorist funding easier. It makes buying guns and illegal things like tanks or rocket pill grenades or murder illegal. It makes it hard to trace this because there's no physical cash that has to change hands with serial numbers on it. So I don't believe it's any of those people, because if they were going to make a new currency, their mark of the beast, like a lot of people call it, why would they make it this difficult? Why? I mean, already the IRS wants Coinbase's records so they can see who to tax, who's been buying and selling. If this was the case, if they actually created it, you think they need the help of the IRS? They would already have the information if they actually created it. Here's what I think happened. Bitcoin is a rogue currency created by a couple of people who hated these banks, and they wanted to see these bankers go down. They were tired of the manipulation. And the bankers and the government, all the way back when Bitcoin, when I first got involved, when it was $8, they paid it no never mind. They laughed it, right? $8, what are you buying? You guys are buying air? You're paying $8 for air? You'll never overturn the dollar. You'll never threaten our power. They were arrogant. And then Bitcoin went up a little bit, and then it crashed. And they were like, ha, 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 see, we told you so. And then it built a new base and went higher, and then it crashed again. Ha, 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 see, we told you so. And then it went higher, built a new base, and came back down again. And they kept doing this same thing. They called Bitcoin at a bubble, at $10, at $100, at $500. We were stupid for buying it. At $1,000, what are you guys doing? Are you out of your mind? At $5,000, they're like, we have the stupidest people on this planet buying this. And at $15,000, they're calling you every single name under the book, under the sun, thinking that you have no idea what you're dealing with in Bitcoin. But yet they're buying it. They're playing in this game. The bankers are. And the proof of the fact is that they started a futures market on Wall Street. Now, I think all of the other crypto coins that are out there, Ethereum, several coins, I think a lot of those have bankers' fingerprints all over them, the NSA all over them, the FBI all over them. And because I think that they've realized, man, this rogue currency, Bitcoin, that we gave no credibility to, it just rose and rose and rose, and it just kept coming back, and it was causing a problem. It's disrupting our banking. It's disrupting the paper and silver gold manipulative rigging markets. It's disrupting the LIBOR interest rates. It's disrupting a lot of things. But they can't ban it, because if they ban it, it'll just go underground, which is where it started. Bitcoin is not going to die, and it's not going to go away. The only way to kill Bitcoin is to shut the internet off, or an EMP attack. That's what a lot of people say. What are you going to do when we have an EMP attack, or Kim Jong-un shoots a nuclear weapon over here? Well, what are you going to do if that doesn't happen and Bitcoin goes to $1 million and you're now forced to buy it? The way I see it, you got to have a little bit just as a hedge. And even if you are one of these people who think that Bitcoin is the mark of the beast, then use the mark of the beast against him to get God's money. This is the way you think. And here's what I mean. You buy yourself a Bitcoin today, let's say for, let's make it easy, $15,000. And then Bitcoin rises, right? It goes to 30 and you're like, awesome, I just doubled my money. But I feel like I'm playing with the mark of the beast here. I really don't want to have this Bitcoin because I'm a Christian. And I feel like Bitcoin is the vehicle to control of people. So cash your Bitcoin out and buy God's money, right? So this is a 100-ounce bar of silver. It's heavy. I mean, real heavy. And silver right now is, I don't know, 15, 16 bucks. So a bar like this is $1,600. You can take your Bitcoin, because it is money. People say, oh, it's not even money. It's not even real money. It's fiat. No. The definition of fiat is a currency that's not backed by anything, that will be printed in oblivion until it goes to its inherent value, which is 0. That's a math problem. Bitcoin has a limited supply, 21 million. Now, there aren't 21 million Bitcoins in a pile somewhere where somebody has control of them. They have to be mined. And I know that's a very hard concept for a lot of you to understand, but a Bitcoin does have to be mined. It gets mined just like a miner mines gold, except for 2 totally different instruments to get it. So you mine Bitcoins with a supercomputer, and you mine gold with machinery. Now let's go way back to the beginning of Bitcoin and gold. When you first found gold, you could just pick up nuggets in the creek. And then when everybody found the easy gold, then you needed a sluice box. And then when you couldn't get any of the dust, you needed a sluice box, you went down the general store and you said, hey, y'all got any dynamite? And then when you couldn't work it with dynamite, you had to get massive tractors and rock crushers because all the easy gold is gone. So you have to get more equipment, heavier equipment to find this gold. Bitcoin works the same way. You could start out mining Bitcoins on a cell phone, playing video games, and then on a laptop computer, and then on a desktop computer, and then on a special mining rig that had a couple of high expensive, a couple $1,000 video cards. And then you needed 10 video cards, and then you need a massive mining rig. And now we're all the way to the point where a good mining rig is going to cost you in the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And even then, you're not guaranteed to find any Bitcoin because there's computers all around the world, private individuals just like me and you, that are using their supercomputers that only have one job: descramble complex math algorithms efficiently. These computers are loud, they are expensive to run, they use a lot of electricity and energy, and they get so hot they could heat your house in a freezing cold snowstorm with the heater off. That's what a mining rig really is. So now, think of the hash rates, the puzzle that they have to solve, which is what a blockchain is. A block on Bitcoin comes out on the network every 10 minutes, and there's Bitcoins inside that block. That's where the new ones come from. And these miners are trying to descramble to open that block, and they're all competing on it at the same time from all over the world. Some of them in big pools where they've joined together, so they have a lot of computing power. The combined hash rate of all of the Bitcoin mining rigs in the whole world is equivalent to the world's 15 largest known supercomputers. That's how big this is. That's how powerful this is. And so there's 5 different places on the internet, including, as of last week, American Precious Metals Exchange, the world's largest precious metal dealer, will let you buy the money that's been in the ground since the beginning of mankind. I mean, if God created the earth, he created this too. It had to be in the ground. If you can use Bitcoin's funny money, air, tulip bulb mania, to buy this? Why wouldn't you? Why would you use your Bitcoins to buy back these instead of buy this? This is what you should be buying with your Bitcoin. And people say, well, it's not money, Bronc Nuts. Yes, it is. If you can buy 6,000-year-old money since before Jesus walked the earth, then no matter how you dice it, no matter how you slice it, and no matter what kind of spin you put on it, Bitcoin is money. It's currency. It's currency. This is real money. As a matter of fact, JP Morgan's dad is famous for saying, gold and silver are the only forms of money, and everything else is an imposter. Everything else is currency. But there's a difference between fiat currency, because if the bankers run out of money, they just go to the Federal Reserve and they open the lock and they turn the printing presses on and they start printing off $100 bills by the thousands. And when they do that, they are counterfeiting our $100 bills. I've worked for these $100 bills. I earn these $100 bills. I dripped a lot of sweat off my brow in the hot summer in Texas to get these $100 bills. And every time they print $100 bills, it makes these $100 bills less valuable. See, people think, well, Bitcoin's not backed by anything. Well, this isn't backed by anything either. It used to be. It used to be backed by this. Our bills used to say silver certificate on them. And now they say Federal Reserve note. It's a dead instrument. They have this game rigged with these dollar bills and us brainwashed into believing, man, stack up as much of this as you can. To me, this is just paper. It's paper. It's worthless paper to me. And as soon as I get it, the first thing I want to think about is what am I going to do with it to lock up the effort that I've already spent? That's what silver is, right? Whether you buy it in coin form or you buy it in bar form, and gold too. It locks the effort because as hyperinflation rises because of quantitative easing and money printing, the price of a hamburger, gas, insurance, everything in our life gets more expensive. But this goes up with it too. And so now, as it's going up, silver and gold, your money's stored in these metals, you protect yourself against hyperinflation. Look, I don't buy silver to get rich. I buy silver and gold to protect the wealth that I already have, what I've already earned. And the bankers don't like this. You know why? Because if you have billions of $100 bills in your vault, do you want people out here in the public using Bitcoin? Do you want them using gold or silver? Do you want them using tulip bulbs or chickens or bullets? Hell no. You want them using dollars because that's what you have a lot of. You're a banker. So you need to think along these lines. I really believe Bitcoin is a rogue currency, and the reason why the bankers don't like it is because it is obvious that it is chewing up fiat money all over the world, in China, in Japan, in the United States, in Venezuela, South Korea, everywhere. It's a worldwide currency, and a Bitcoin's a Bitcoin's a Bitcoin, a Bitcoin. And you know what's beautiful, people? Say some of you over here on Steam that you're in China. I have followers on China, and they're listening to me right now. Say, I want to make a deal happen with you. I want you to send me a bunch of shoes or sweatshirts or whatever I want from you, and you want to get paid by me. But I only have dollars, and your country uses yuan. We've got to get a bank in the middle of this. They've got to fill out a whole bunch of piece of paper and record everything and then charge us fees to send the money. Why shouldn't I just be able to interact with you? Right, wrong, or indifferent, why shouldn't one human being just be able to act directly with another human being and not have anybody in the middle of our transaction? Sounds pretty simple to me. Actually sounds fair. But that's exactly what Bitcoin is, and it's exactly what the dollar isn't. It's also exactly what silver is. Because if I come to you and I put this in your hand and you don't even speak English, no matter where you live around the world, you know exactly what this is. You know that it's worth money in your local currency, and you know what it'll buy. This has been here since the beginning of mankind. So use your Bitcoin profits to build a precious metal stack. And if you do that, and you're one of these people that believes, well, Bitcoin's the mark of the beast, well, then use the mark of the beast against the beast. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm not a Bitcoin cheerleader to where I love Bitcoin and Bitcoin's the next currency and this is going to be the future of mankind and this is going to be the way it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's another cryptocurrency that's going to come out. Maybe it's a new currency down the road that'll actually be backed by physical gold and silver. I don't know. But I know one thing. Bitcoin has been called dead and in a bubble and going to go to zero 192 times already while I've owned it. Sell it. They panic sell and then the bankers are buying. They need to get their arms around this. And I think all of these other cryptocurrencies in the altcoin market, they're all used to take your Bitcoins from you. And they do it by trading with high frequency algorithmic computers that are way more sophisticated and advanced than anything you could get your hands on. This is the reason why Bitcoin has forked into Bitcoin Cash, into Bitcoin Gold, into Bitcoin this and that and the other, and it's probably going to fork again. And every time when it forks, what do we hear? Oh, Bitcoin Cash is the new thing. It's the real Bitcoin. Really? Because after it forked, Bitcoin went all the way to 19,000, and Bitcoin Cash was being drug along like 12 pop cams behind a 1976 Ford Pinto. Bitcoin's the real deal, and it's something that you really need to do a lot of research on. And you can't learn about Bitcoin in a couple of hours. You can't read some articles and watch some videos and go, yeah, I have a really good grasp of what Bitcoin is. You got to trust me on this. You can't. I know a lot about cryptocurrencies and a lot about Bitcoin, but I have dedicated hours and hours and hours of my life every single day to learn every little nugget and morsel and fact that I can. Because it helps me put my business plan of life together in my own head. Now, Bitcoin's just one piece of the puzzle. There's a lot of other cryptocurrencies that are out there. You say, well, then those are all frauds. Those are all fake. No, they're technologies. They can do things that are so cool that if you really knew what they could do, it'd blow your mind how awesome this stuff is. What the future could hold by using cryptocurrencies to secure bank records, to secure health records, to secure music, movies, anything, make everything decentralized so these bankers cannot manipulate us anymore. That's why the bankers hate Bitcoin. They hate it. But they're starting to realize we can't beat this game, y'all, at the banking table. We cannot beat it. Bitcoin is going to keep going and there's nothing we can do about it. So the only thing we can do about it is get in the game and play. And we have enough dollars that we're printing for nothing, and enough, the best computers in the world, the best traders in the world, the best information in the world. So we'll just beat these Bitcoiners at their own game eventually, and then we'll own it all, and then we'll crash it. We're a ways away from that happening. And the amount of profit you can make between now and that day is astronomical. Believe me when I tell you, Bitcoin's going to be $100,000 and even way more, I think. Now you're going to be like, oh, Bronk Nuts, that's easy for you to say. I called Bitcoin being at $10,000 when it was at 10 bucks and everybody laughed at me. I was trying to explain to them what I had learned. How did I learn about Bitcoin? There wasn't any bad information. There wasn't any lies. There wasn't even any articles to read. I don't know nothing about computers. How the heck am I going to learn about it? There was a couple of computer nerds, and I'm talking about nerds, who had YouTube channels. And I sat there and I let them explain and teach me video after video after video, not what Bitcoin was, what blockchain technology was, and how a blockchain works. Because there's multiple different types of mining. Proof of stake mining, proof of work mining, a hybrid mine. There's a lot of different ways, and it matters how a blockchain gets mined on if it's decentralized and how secure the blockchain is. People say, oh, you don't want to buy Bitcoin. You know how many times Bitcoin's been hacked? Hear me when I tell you this. Bitcoin has never been hacked. Never. Understand? Never been hacked. Coin exchanges have been hacked. People's wallets have been hacked. If you don't know how to secure Bitcoin, you're going to get hacked. For sure. To solve that problem, all you got to have is one of these. This is called a Trezor wallet, and it has one function: to send out an enormous encrypted private key code. My private key code. And so I plug it into my computer and I have access to all my Bitcoins right on here. Now you're saying, oh, that's dangerous, Bronk nuts. I mean, what if you have this and somebody just walks by and they steal it from you, or you drop it in the toilet, or somebody pushes you in the swimming pool and this is in your pocket, you're screwed, huh, Bronk nuts? Ha, gotcha. No. When you set one of these up, you have what's called a seed key. And the seed key is more important than this actual Trezor wallet, because the seed key is the key to the whole deal. And if you come up and steal this from me, somebody robs me at gunpoint, and they try to plug this in, first thing they're going to have is my 4-digit PIN code, just like on protected on your credit card or debit card. But before they could get to their house, plug into a computer to steal my money, all I'm going to do is take one of these that I have as a backup, brand new, still in the box, and I'm going to import the seed key of this one into the new one, which is going to take me in less than 2 minutes. And once I do that, all the coins are gone from this one, and they all magically appear on my new one with a new seed key and a new password and new everything. And you get nothing when you get to your house to steal the money off of this Trezor wallet. This is the only way to protect yourself from getting hacked. Do you understand me? The only way. And if you don't have one of these, whether it's a Trezor, it's a Ledger Nano, or a Ledger Blue, some type of hardware wallet, you are playing a financial suicide game with cryptocurrencies. Don't be a fool. Don't be a dummy. Don't be a sucker. Protect yourself, because there's people out there way smarter than you and I with computers to hack you. They are patient. They are calculated. They will learn your patterns, and they will steal your money. My recommendation to all of you is get involved in the crypto coin market somehow, some way, at some level, even if it's only for a few bucks. And protect yourself just in case this does go to 1 million, which I think it can. And if it goes to 1 million, and right now you only put in 2 or 3 of these, do you realize how much money you're going to have? Because $15,000 is a long ways away from $1 million. And it will make a lot of these in the process. Now, if you don't have any dollars and you want to get Bitcoin, you're still not out of luck. Get you a Steemit.com account. I've been trying to tell you, STEEMIT.com. It's a social media platform that uses blockchain technology. Now, it's different than Bitcoin. It is a blockchain, but it uses proof of stake mining versus proof of work. There's all kinds of videos if you want to learn about the difference between the two. But what it enables you to do is get paid for your social media content. Because right now, YouTube is not paying me anything to teach you this. But I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to post it on my Steemit account. And Steemit is going to pay me for this info. They are going to pay me for this video, and they've paid me for every video that I have ever made, and the comments that I've made, and the upvotes that I've given to other people who have posted good quality content on Steemit.com. If you don't look into this now, you're missing the boat. And when the herd turns in 2018 and piles into crypto, you're going to wish you listened to the OG Bronk Nuts. Last time I'm going to tell you, this is the OG Bronk Nuts, 719 West, Steemit.com. Get you some Bitcoin, get some Litecoin, get some Ethereum, invest some of your dollars into some of these technologies, and you'll thank me later for doing it. I'm out.